Welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar, on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It's your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my co-host, my sister, Miss Morningstar from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Today is Wednesday, June the 3rd. No, I'm sorry, June the 4th. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day, hump day. We're halfway through the work week. I hope everyone has had, number one, your glass of water. Water is essential. So if everyone has had their water and you're either making your breakfast or eating your breakfast and you're coming in and you're going to sit down and listen to the show or move around the house and listen to the show, but all in all, listen to the show. Today we have a great show as usual. We have great content contributors that are coming on to share their knowledge. And we just love that about them, that they take out time to share with us as well as the community. So again, today is the day to get it started. But before we can get started, as usual, we must start every show with a positive morning affirmation. And we get that information from our affirmation queen, Mrs. Morningstar.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy hump day, everybody.
Yes, happy hump day to you as well, sis.
Happy hump day.
Today is Wednesday. You know, it's time to get it started. Get it started on the right note. And that's what it's all about. The right note, not the wrong one.
All the time.
What do you have in store for us today? It's always a treat. What you got for us today?
Absolutely. So you guys, as always, we got to do our affirmations. We got to start off that morning on the correct foot. And this time I wanted to focus on our money. You know, sometimes we don't speak it into existence when it comes to us and our reparations, should I say, or just our money in general. We work hard, right? And we're not just working hard just to work hard. We got bills. We got things to pay. We got stuff to do. We got kids to feed. We got schools to pay for. So let's acknowledge your worth and let's speak it into existence. If you think that some of your current money benefits aren't aligning with where you want it to be, you know, in terms of your wealth or your prosperity, this is just a little reminder. Giving some healthy conversation to yourself surrounding around your money can help you escalate that. Okay? So let's talk about it. Acknowledging your worth. Making sure you tell yourself, I'm worthy of having everything I desire. I welcome impeccable financial wellness. I'm in charge of my earning potential. Living life fully is my right. I define my worth and I deserve all good things coming my way.
Uh-oh, somebody's calling.
Somebody is trying to give me some more money.
That's money calling.
I invite a joyful existence where my funds transform my vision. I am pleased to have created a life of high self-worth and ease. I deserve to receive large sums of money. Yeah,
of course we do. Yes.
Wealth is going to choose me. Yeah, that's right. I am wise enough to manage my wealth wonderfully. I am worthy of financial abundant future, and my time is incredibly expensive. Okay,
It is.
y'all not let them know it's expensive to book me.
Yeah.
There is nothing to become. Nothing to become. I am already abundant. My skill set is valuable and gives me access to more wealth than I have ever known. Speak it into existence, my good
Yes,
friends.
please do, because why not?
Why
You know,
not?
they
I
always
mean, if Elon Musk could be the richest man in the world, come on,
they always
why can't y'all?
a closed mouth don't get fed. So we're gonna
Yes,
speak it into existence every time. Every
absolutely,
time. Because
absolutely.
we have to speak that positivity into our life.
Mm-hmm.
We have to continue to speak it into our children and speak it into everything that we go through. Because if you don't believe in you, who's gonna believe in you? No,
Exactly.
nobody. So let's hop into weather because we do have some
Okay.
good stories to talk about today. So first things first, let's see what this weather is looking like. So in Holly Springs, you have a high of 88, a low of 70. It's partly cloudy today. Winds out of the south southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity is at 62% this morning and 82% this evening. Grass pollen is very high and air quality is moderate. Memphis, Tennessee, you have a high of 89, a low of 72, partly cloudy as well. Winds out of the south from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Humidity is at 61% this morning and 76% this evening. Grass pollen, once again, very high. And your air quality is moderate. Now, Houston, 89 degrees. That's not too bad. You're running neck and neck with everybody else. A low of 77. We have scattered thunderstorms today. This afternoon, it's going to be a little rainy. We've got a 60% chance of rain. Humidity is at 69% at this morning and 83% this evening. Of course, because it's going to be raining. So, of course. Grass pollen is high and the air quality is good. So that's some good news. Air quality, at least we can breathe. I don't know. My allergies say different, but that's what the weather report, that's what, the National Weather Report says. But I'm going to believe it when I see it. When I can breathe and talk without sounding so nasally, then I'll believe it. So that's our weather for today. And yeah, a little rain in Houston, but no hurricanes just yet. We're just gonna keep our fingers
Come
crossed.
on, we easing into that thing. We just
Yeah,
started. Just started.
we're
So
only 3 days in.
let's
Yeah,
keep it cute,
keep it
Houston. Keep
cute,
it cute.
cute. Okay, always cute, never complicated. Well, sometimes complicated, but that's another story. That's a story. That's a story for TikTok. That's not a story for the radio. Anywho, we're going to go ahead and hop into news you can use, current events, breaking news. This just in. Go ahead and start, Miss Morningstar. Today's your turn, honey.
Okay. Well, let's see. The girls are starting to fight.
Wow.
So Elon Musk has now officially left the White House. He has left his position of Doge after he has collected all of our personal information, all of our bank accounts, our names, our social security. He got it all, y'all. And he got those contracts. He stacked like Jack. He stacked himself up. So yeah, now he talking cash, as my boy say, cash money. You know,
Yeah.
he doing it tough. He didn't told let's see, he didn't told Trump what he said it's an abomination. Basically, that whole bill, big beautiful bill. He said that's an abomination.
Hey,
He
man.
said it's awful. You're not,
2.5 $2.5 trillion. That's
yeah,
trillion T with a
trillion
T.
with a T.
Trillion with a T. Now you mad.
And now he seems to be trying to, think he's going. He said it's disgusting too. He used words like that, disgusting. Ooh. And I don't know. I don't know if with this move he thinks is gonna come for that. Now the man with the dead hand ain't said nothing yet. But he likes to
He wait till the
sundown. He likes to sundown tweet. So he gonna wait till the clear middle of the night.
Yeah, he gotta get his sundown voice.
He gotta get into his sundown mode, so he can type a long letter, probably telling Elonia all about itself. So we shall see how this plays out. It's very interesting. Grab your popcorn and your wine or whatever your choice of beverage, as we say in the beginning of our plugs, and enjoy the show, baby.
Enjoy the show.
Gonna be a show.
Gonna be a show for sure.
Gonna be a show.
I don't know what kind of show it's gonna be, but MTG, she done stepped into the chat too.
Who was that?
MTG 3 times. She says I did not read. So basically, you signed something you didn't read. I did not read this part about the bill.
So that ain't reading it, huh? They just signed the stuff.
They just signed the stuff. She didn't know nothing about it, and she's upset, and it's not fair, and now she's upset. Not MTG going against the man with the dead hand.
Well, he'll kick her little trailer self to the side too. He don't care nothing about her.
No, he doesn't.
We are dealing with a person who has zero filter, zero care, zero what's to give. He don't care.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he knows, because when dementia kicks in, you really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you just let it fly.
I mean, you sign in executive orders and you don't even know. You're looking at Stephen Miller saying, what this one say? It could say anything on that paper. You haven't.
You don't know. You don't know.
And if you have read it, well, that's a stretch, because we all know he can't read. But reading,
he don't, and he works off of pictures. He likes flashcards. That's how he follow. Put a train in front of him. That means, sir, you're gonna take the train. Oh, okay.
It puts me in mind of camera, TV, woman, man, camera, TV. Do y'all remember the song?
Yeah.
It puts me in mind.
Who used to play that? One of our TikTok friends will play that. Yeah.
I mean, it puts me in mind of that, because he doesn't read. You're looking at Stephen Miller to tell you what's this executive order? Okay, and just sign it. It could say that everybody, Trump, you're giving me all your money. It could say anything.
Well, I gotta say, Elonia, it is a disgusting abomination, and it's your fault. Part of it's your fault. A lot of it's your fault. So you get no sympathy over here with your box. I know what you got in that box.
Okay.
That ain't allegedly.
That's not allegedly, Miss Janice. That is facts.
Yeah. So that was one interesting story to see popping up. I guess they really talking about it because they messy. The news is messy. So we like to see a good little cat fight.
Yeah. Look, World Star, because boy was in there. He was geeking.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty gone, y'all. It's pretty gone.
What do you have next, Miss Morningstar?
Y'all know I got a couple little not about this about the Decepticons, but listen, I found this interesting. North Carolina, which is Miss Shanika's, Miss Jackson's home, Miss Jack's home state. Yeah. A huge 400-pound alligator.
No.
Captured in North Carolina on suspicions of being a dinosaur.
What?
First of all, come to the front of the room, North Carolina. I hate to tell y'all this.
A dinosaur?
But dinosaurs are we don't have dinosaurs. We ain't seen them in millions of years. Dinosaurs. We ain't nobody here ever seen a dinosaur. Okay. I'm just trying to bring it back for a minute. He might have been massive. This is 400 pounds is a pretty big creature.
We have big alligators down here.
Yeah, that's a big alligator. He might have swallowed a human whole. I don't know.
He may have.
But he might Jim Bob or somebody who wanted to pet him. He probably ate him. But yeah, he's not a dinosaur, y'all. That's the long time ago.
So people are actually saying that?
Well, it was on the news. I mean, that's what so according, they didn't gave him a name, Pepe the Gator. And of course, there's some buffoonery pictures with some buffoonery sheriffs, it looks like, sitting on Pepe posing. And Pepe wasn't too happy about that. You know, they had already sedated him, I think, and tied his, because they said he was just out here chilling, loitering around on the road and minding his business, apparently.
And somebody came and snatched him up.
Yeah. So yeah, he wasn't too happy about that. They said there was no injuries. Thank goodness. I'm glad nobody got hurt. But I'm gonna need some people to stop. They talking about he was sunbathing. See, I don't agree with this. Okay. I don't agree with this type of conversation about an alligator sunbathing. And I was here in Texas one day, minding my business. Me and my family took a park walk, and a lady proceeded to come up to us and say, "Hey, right up the road, it's a gator sunbathing."
They do that.
Excited. She was excited. I said, "Ma'am, no."
Yeah, they do that here in Texas. Honey.
I don't agree with that language.
You may not agree with it.
I don't agree with that language.
You may not agree with it, but in hearing, I've seen many gators here.
I've seen them, but I let them. I mind my business.
I mind my business.
I mind my business.
We learned don't start none, won't be none. I
don't want that beef. I don't want the beef with Pepe. Pepe 400 pounds. I don't want it, Pepe.
There is no knucking if you bucking with Pepe the gator.
No.
We're not doing it.
And I'm going to just tell y'all, the first lesson I learned here, lady did our hair. First time we came to Texas, I said, give us some advice on what we should, know about Texas, She said, well, if you come across a gator, I said, whoop. And she said, yeah, you got to run zigzag.
Zigzag, baby.
Wait a minute, ma'am. Back up, rewind. If I come across a gator, she said, you have to zigzag run. You cannot run straight because they are fast.
They are.
And if you go straight, they will catch you.
Yeah,
so you have to zigzag run because it throws they can't see well.
Yeah, they can't see their peripheral. They can't see
the peripheral. So they couldn't find
but they can see you straight
dead on. They zooming in on you. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Free Pepe into his free Pepe.
No, you ain't gotta free him now.
They gotta let Pepe go. I don't want nothing to do with Pepe. Let him go home.
I mean, they're boots. Boots.
We can't wear gator boots in Texas. Now we had to go to the D with my girl, powerful black woman. We had to go to the D. We could step out of gator boots there, but
you can wear gator boots in Georgia.
Ooh, okay, y'all. So I'm gonna go to one more funny. This is gonna be a funny. Well, all right, Texas, come to the front. Texas.
No, Texas.
Tyler,
don't
Texas.
Put Texas in this. This has nothing to do with Texas.
Tyler, Texas, bring your behind up to this front of the seat in the front, lady. Let me tell you something. What's her name? Tanya Boyd.
Wait a minute.
Woman accused of stealing wigs off bodies at Tyler funeral home. Why? What you say? They ain't needed no more? Well, they was gone. They ain't need that.
Lord, I am not laughing.
I mean, what you just felt like they ain't needed no more, huh? And you had something to do tonight, Tanya. Tanya, it's gonna cost you criminal charges, okay? Because that is stealing.
That's a misdemeanor,
Okay?
for sure.
It is stealing property from a human corpse. And now you are booked in the county jail with a bond of $75,000
Hey,
because you wanted to take this woman's wig off and wear it for yourself.
Tanya ain't coming home for a minute. So what you in here for? Oh, well, I stole a wig off of this lady. I went
I
to the
thought she wasn't
funeral.
gonna need it. I didn't think she was gonna need it
I
no
don't
more.
think she was gonna need it. You know, I had a hot date tonight, and I needed a wig.
Okay, I got some mud
laughing.
shots to drop in signal. I
Yeah.
gotta do Mr. Powell, and I got
Pastor
y'all.
Pow
I
Pow.
got y'all.
Pastor Pow Pow from
Yeah,
from
Pastor Powell. Let me put some respect on his name. Okay,
because
Pastor Powell.
Pow
Because I'm sorry, I don't want no problems, Pastor Powell. If you hearing this, I know you in here. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, we
Sorry.
know Stephen, Miss Wig wearing Boyd ain't in here. She's still locked up, and they won't let.
I'm gonna drop the picture. I want y'all to see Tanya.
I seen it.
Why she wanted her
I said I wasn't gonna report on that. I was gonna leave that up to you because I knew you was gonna.
I'm reporting on all this because
All
we
things
got to know what's going on in the United States, y'all. So y'all, yeah, if it's a homegoing, let's watch over our loved ones or whomever make sure nobody in there trying to take their wigs and stuff.
Yeah, please, y'all put a guard up or something.
I ain't know we had to do that.
If it's a 24-inch,
bust down.
I know. With a part in the middle.
With the lace, baby.
Yes.
With the
baby hair. You got to make sure ain't nobody stealing the wigs. Let's go to commercial, sis. Because Tanya had things to do.
She said this is going to be quick and easy.
I'm going to bring it back. I was going to bring it right back. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. You are listening to Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs. Customize that cutting board. Get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I'm Tori G., owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into this business by mistake, but the mission was no accident. As a Black female-owned brand, we do more than just sell shirts. We make statements. Our designs spark conversation, sometimes shady, sometimes in your face, but always bold. From the 92% collection, honoring Black women who always show up, to Dear Black Woman, a love letter to our strength and resilience. Our tees empower, uplift, and keep it real. Because at Say Something Tees, we believe your shirt should speak before you do. Shop Black owned, shop with a purpose. Find us at www.saysomething.biz and let's say something together.
And we are back. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. So I have just a couple stories that I wanted to bring up. So number one, federal judge temporarily blocks Trump's administration from ending the TSA. So it's temporary, but why would you want to end the TSA? To make sure that no one's getting on planes and doing anything nefarious, and then the narcotics trafficking and human trafficking. TSA serves a purpose, just like FEMA serves a purpose. But it's a temporary block. We'll see where this goes. And my last one, there's a lot going on in June. Number one, it's Pride Month. Number 2, it's hurricane season. Number 3, it's Juneteenth. And number 4, it's Father's Day. So Heart and Soul magazine, I went to their website today, and they have so many beautiful stories about fathers. I suggest everyone just go type in Heart and Soul into your browser and take a look. I mean, these are uplifting stories about African American men, and I love it. We've got Leon. Everybody know who Leon is, right? Leon. He's played in The Temptations. He's played in a lot of roles. He's so handsome. Leon, if you're listening. Oh, never mind. I'm married. Leon, he's talking about fatherhood. And it's a beautiful story. Him and his daughter, she's so pretty. That is a beautiful young lady. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I want you guys to go out there and read it for yourselves. And then William Johnson, I read his story. Fatherhood is a badge of honor. And I truly believe that fathers feel that way. You know, to become a father, just like to become a mother, it's a beautiful thing. And our Black men have gotten such a bad rap about how they weren't in the households. Miss Morningstar, did you grow up with your father?
All my life. My
Did
whole
I?
life. Seen him every day.
Every day of my life
Every day of my life, he was
until
there.
he left this planet, and now he's, you know, he's an ancestor, and he's in a much better place. But
Mm-hmm.
when you grow up with a strong father, and he doesn't have to live in your household, but if he
No,
was a
it
part of
doesn't.
your life, if he showed up, and I get it, he may not have shown up for everything, but if he was a part of your life,
That's
give
it.
that man that respect. I'm so sick of hearing how Black men ain't this and Black men. Get up off my brothers, please.
Please, please, and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Cause I don't play with them.
No,
Don't
don't
quit
play.
playing with them.
I know so many strong, beautiful Black men who
Mm-hmm.
aren't. It's not about the fancy cars and all that other craziness and the Diddy and all that other. They're there for their families. They're there for their kids. They've been supportive. Give our Black men their props.
Give them their flowers.
I hate to hear somebody get on here and say, "Oh, I'm so sick of all these Black men." Girl, just because you chose to pick the wrong picker and you continue to pick the same type of person, maybe do some evaluations within yourself. Now, I'm not going to get on
Sound
no
like
Black,
a you problem, right?
but you're going to have to raise up off our Black men because they're
Mm-hmm.
out here and they're strong. And if your circle doesn't consist of that, change your circle, baby. That's all I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you. I grew up with a strong Black men. I have my uncles and my
Me
grandfathers.
too. Grandfather,
I have,
uncles, brothers,
thank you, brother,
cousins.
cousins. Thank you. So if
I
you don't
don't see
have
it.
that, I don't either. I'm curious to see, and it's only a few people that may feel that way. Maybe you're mad about your baby daddy. I don't know, or your ex-husband. I don't know, but it's not all Black men, just like it's not all Black women. Don't let
Exactly.
this country and this society try and turn you against your own. We have got to fight because our Black men are under attack, just like we are under attack. But if we stop attacking each other and we band together, there's nothing that's going to hurt us.
That's
So stop
right.
doing that. Let's celebrate our Black men. June 15th is Father's Day. Please recognize your father. And if you don't have a relationship with your father, take it from somebody who lost her father a day
Yeah.
before my 49th birthday. Work on it. Work
And
on
see,
it.
Wiz, we wrapping our arms around you, my sister, because
Yes.
you're
I
gonna
love
have
you
them
too, man.
days. You
I
gonna,
know.
I can believe you gonna have many of those days. So we wrapping our arms around you and loving on you and Kitty and everybody else who may have lost a parent. A
Yeah.
parent is a parent.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
I
love my
understand.
daddy. I am a daddy's girl, so
Same
I
here.
love my daddy just as much as I love my mama, and I can't see my life without either one of them. But I
Mm-mm.
know that
Don't even think about it.
life is life, and we, you know, everybody eventually will go, but you just don't, you don't see it. So yeah, let's shout out, let's keep shouting out the dads.
Yes, please. And the fathers. And even if you're not a dad, but if you're playing a role in a child's
You're a
life,
father.
you're a father. Okay?
That
And that's a
that goes
big
a
thing.
long way.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So that's pretty much all I had,
Okay.
for today.
I
I,
like that, Kitty. I like you brought that up.
of course, we got to love on our brothers because, right now we're all under attack. It just depends on what channel you turn on.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yep.
right.
Yes. So today we are talking about abuse. Once again, this is our part 2. Let's go ahead and bring in Mrs. Jack and Reggie, and let's go ahead and have this conversation get started. Well, hello there. I
Yeah,
see you
Hey,
down in the
hey,
comments talking
hey.
about some. You think I didn't
you
see?
said
Yes.
you said the girls was fighting, so I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
Pause.
Well, they tend to fight quite. This is just the beginning of the fight, it sounds like to me. Good morning, Mrs. Jack.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Reggie. How
Good
are
morning,
you?
guys.
I
Good
don't see
morning.
Reggie.
Go ahead.
I don't see Reggie.
You don't see,
Can
just
you
give
see
it
me?
a second. Yeah, I can hear him just fine.
You
Just
Oh,
hear
I
wait
him
can
a
though,
hear.
right?
second,
Okay.
pop up.
Yeah, I can hear him. Okay.
You guys can't see me?
Yes, we can see you. We
We
can hear
see
you.
you.
Okay.
That's Mrs. Jack with that janky phone.
No, I'm still in the box at the bottom.
No, you're not, baby. You in the top. You're in here with us,
We
honey.
won't talk about my suspect internet then.
Yes, we won't
Because
talk
we
about
know.
your internet. Yes, janky, very janky, janky promoters. Okay.
I'll take that. I'm still over here trying to figure out how to defend my home state for Pepe, but I can't.
Pepping again
I
the game.
can't. I'm so
Pepe the
ashamed.
alligator.
I'm so ashamed. That sound like my people to sit on it and take a picture.
Yeah,
I'm
they
so
took a nice
embarrassed.
little pose. 3 of them
Mm.
gonna sit on Pepe because Pepe was 10 feet long. Pepe was huge.
That ain't the most embarrassing part of the story. The fact that they thought it was a dinosaur took me on now. That part. That
I want
part.
to see how big Mrs. Morningstar did it. Show a picture. I want to see how big he was.
I got the picture of them sitting on them, so it show how long he was. So yeah, I'll send that in Signal so y'all
I
can
know
see
he
it.
was mad. Get your big butts off of me.
He was like, in his head, he was like, baby, if I just get one of y'all, if I could shake
Get
one of
loose.
y'all, baby,
I
I'm
can
gonna
just
be
get
good
loose.
tonight.
I get loose.
I
Okay.
bet they weren't sitting by his mouth though. I bet you they were sitting towards the middle.
No, one of the
table.
fools was sitting by his mouth, but they had it, binded.
Hey.
But still,
Mhm.
400-pound Pepe.
I can't.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't.
no, thank
I
you.
ain't doing it.
And good morning, Reggie. How are you?
I am wonderful. DJ Kitty, Miss Morningstar, Miss Jack, WKRA listening audience. I'm sorry you can't see me, Miss Jack, but it seems that everyone else can. I don't know I don't know if it's StreamYard or if it's
Janky.
the weather.
Janky. It's janky phones.
I'm trying to be professional. But anyway, how's everybody doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
We doing
Happy
good.
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
So today's topic it's a follow-up from our last conversation last Wednesday, and it's rebuilding life after abuse. And I think that this is a great topic that we can expound on from our
Mhm.
last conversation. So, Mrs. Jack, did you want to start us off?
I'll start off with what we talked about last time, just a little recap. For the people that may have missed, what we talked about last week was understanding dangers of leaving an abusive situation. We talked about understanding that the abusers were groomers and had a tactic. It was like a plan, how they make you feel like you're trapped and they're the only person that loves you. We talked about being cautious of red flags in the beginning of dating because the sooner you get out of it, the more safe it is for you. You can pick up on the red flags of the person being controlling and just go ahead and say, you know what, this is just, doesn't seem like we're a good fit. And, you don't build up all of those controlling features to get to the point where you're getting groomed and taken away from your family. We talked about not covering up bruises and making a police report immediately if you do find yourself in a situation where you cannot get out safely. At least try to make a record of it. Keep your own little, police report, tell your friends, take pictures, send them to people because it could help in the long run. You never know. We're always looked at as we need proof. We have to prove the innocence first, And then we talked about the most dangerous part of leaving an abuser, which was the actual leaving part, is when it gets the most dangerous. So that's what we kind of hit on last time, but I think we kind of ran out of time because it turned into a great conversation because it needs to be spoken about. And, we do have the trigger warning up for anyone. So if this does trigger you, then you may want to, tune out just because some triggers are light, some triggers are a little more intense, but we don't want to trigger anybody today.
Absolutely.
So the things I have to talk about today, one is a statistic, and then 3 will be why do people go back to an abuser? I know. So one is the 5 to 75% of homicide victims and 85% of women who have experienced severe but non-fatal violence had left or tried to leave their abuser in the past year. And that is from the Department of Justice. It says victims may also fear reprisals after leaving their abuser, that they're going to track them down and hurt them more because they're left. And so there's a 75% increase in violence upon separation for at least 2 years. So for the first year, 75 to 85% of the people experienced the violence when they left. And then up to 2 years, it's a 75% increase in the violence in the separation. And it just speaks towards why we tell people it's not easy to leave. You can't. I think some people get it misconstrued because they think if you just leave, you take yourself out of the situation. You remove yourself from the danger, so to speak. It's not like crossing the road when you see an animal and you take off running and remove yourself from the fear of the animal. Yeah. This person can follow you with the fear. So we try to tell people, hey, it's not as easy as you think it is to just leave. And then the danger increases with leaving. You think you're in the danger while you're in it. Then you build up the courage and the nerve to leave. Then you're in more danger when you leave.
And did you say after 2 years it increases?
There's a 75% increase in violence upon separation for at least 2 years.
It's just ridiculous.
Is that not?
It is. And I can't just say it is all men, because I know some women who have been abusive as well. But we've always, and it's not like this is something new. This has been going on since the beginning of time. When a person doesn't get their way, or you're not, I have a feeling of entitlement, or you belong to me. So I feel like you have to do what I tell you to do. And if you don't, I'm going to discipline you as if I own you. Where do we get, where that mindset of ownership?
It's a control. It's just a need to control the situation.
Yes.
And where it spawns from, you guys, is when people don't feel like they have power and control in their own lives, in their relationship with themselves. If they don't feel adequate in that space, then what do? Then they try to take it from others, or they try to exert it over others. But it is because there is a lack. They're experiencing a lack internally. Because how many times have you seen someone have something that you have and you're like, I'm glad I got mine. I mean, it's like there's no jealousy. There's no,
Right.
There's no competition because you're like, you got yours, I got mine. I'm happy with mine. I hope you're happy with yours.
Mm-hmm.
Have a
Right.
great day. But it's when there's a lack that, yeah.
And that goes along the lines of that puts me in the mind of more than just domestic abuse. That is very broad because there's a lot of
Period.
people who just basically, you're not happy with whatever you have going on internally with yourself. And so you're going to attack others, whether it's physically or verbally, verbally attacking someone else because you're unhappy with yourself. And that person, I mean, let's just face it, when you are acting out like this, you really need to go get help. It's mental.
Mental health, I tell you.
It's unfortunate, you guys, that we live within a society that does not teach us about our value. We learn about the value of things,
Yes.
but we don't learn about the value of people. Tell me, when you even hear the word value, as a rule, what is the first thing that your mind goes to? It goes to some material thing.
Money.
It doesn't go to a person.
Right.
And that is the problem.
You're
That
right.
is the real problem. And because people don't even have, and luckily, and that is why I've been doing the work that I've been doing with value identity, or identifying your value, is because when people are able to identify their value and they're able to begin to enjoy their relationship with themselves, then they're no longer operating out of pain.
Right.
They're operating out of value. They're operating out of celebrating themselves. They're operating out of understanding that their value is not a variable. It is not determined by anything external to them. It is a constant. And so they are no longer being driven to do what pain drives people to do.
You're
And
right.
that's why this work and what you're doing, Ms. Jack, and what we're doing, and what anyone's doing with mental health, and with bringing people into an awareness of themselves, a true awareness of themselves, is so, so, so important, because it ends up not only hurting the person, but it affects all of us.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Ms. Morningstar.
I just want to say this, it seems too that it's starting now younger and younger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to see like trends of young people in high school, middle school, boyfriend, girlfriend, the acts of jealousy and rage and violence with our kids. And I think it's time for some people to start nipping that in the bud. Like, what is going on? Why are you acting in a jealous rage towards this other person, girl or boy, and your children?
Exactly.
Where are they picking these things up? Because it runs somewhere. They didn't just pull it out of thin air and didn't, have these anger issues or these mood switches out of thin air. Something is triggering that movement, and it carries them until adulthood,
Some of them learn at home.
Yeah.
You know how if you grew up in a home where people drink alcohol and there's alcohol abuse, you're more likely to do it yourself. Same thing with witnessing domestic violence.
Right.
If that's how you see your dad, and you're a young man and you see your dad control his household by violence, or keep his mom in check, or the women in the family in check, it's gonna rub off on him, and that's what he's gonna think is correct. He can even go to somebody else's house and see the dynamic isn't the same somewhere else, but this is how I was raised at my house, so it must be right because that's my dad.
That's what he's saying.
So sometimes they take that into, this is how I'm supposed to be in a relationship because nobody is stopping it at my house, so it's got to be right. So they carry it on when they get into dating relationships, and they think, hey, this is right, until the girl or the young man or whoever says, hey, that's not right, I don't want to be with you anymore, and put a stop to it. So it's sometimes at home. I'm not saying it's always at home, because you do change your own personalities. You don't always follow what's going on at home, but that's one of the ways it starts.
Exactly. So what's your second
Okay, that was the statistics. So
yes.
now we'll go into why do people go back to an abuser. And I searched for this because that was one of the questions that I would have people ask me before. I think when I was in the military, I would talk to women and stuff. And they're like, if you've been so abused and you finally got out, why would you go back? Because for us, it's like you're free, like your freedom, like you get out of jail. But don't prisoners go back to jail?
Well,
people
yeah,
get
they
out of
may,
jail and go back.
you know.
That I like that. That makes sense. Don't prisoners go
make
back. Don't repeat offenders.
Well,
Yeah.
let me interject. I'm sorry, Miss DJ Kitty. Go ahead. I mean, as twisted as this may seem, okay, attention is validation, even if it is negative attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we all desire to be seen, heard, see me, hear me, feel me, value me. And, you know, how many times do you see, and how many times were you as a child? Mommy, daddy, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Attention, we need attention. Attention is valid, see me.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if having that attention on you is playing itself out in a negative way, it is still attention. And so again, we're talking about dysfunction. And, but yeah, and then, you know, also, you know, the abuse becomes all, you know, you were talking about in the home and seeing something normalized. If you have been living in a situation where abuse is normalized in your day-to-day living experience, that becomes a program.
Right.
And
Yeah.
even though you leave, it's like, wait a minute, I'm not familiar with not being abused.
drama. I'm not
For 5 years, 10 years. It's like, this is familiar to me. Let me and that's what happens.
I've seen, sorry, Kitty, I've literally, and I'm gonna be quick, seen women who feel or heard them say, well, if he don't hit me, he must don't love me.
Yes.
Girl.
That's Stockholm syndrome, what T-Wiz put up there.
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
And it's not
That's that
funny.
cry for attention.
It's not funny. It's really sad.
It's real.
It's really sad because not only are you dealing with just one person who is abusive, who has issues, now we got two people because now you, the recipient of the abuse, want the abuse because that's how you know it makes you feel that you're loved.
Yes.
And then,
yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
And then we get to the point where some people don't realize that once you leave, that's not it. That's the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Leave, that is the beginning. That's when you have to start healing. You can't heal by doing the same thing over and over and over. Once you leave, yes, it's the definition of insanity. It's time for you to take a deep dive within yourself and say, what is it that I want so I'll be okay? Not so he'll be okay or she'll be okay. What can I do within myself to make sure that I'm okay? Getting that counseling and talking through those feelings of how did you feel when you were receiving the abuse? Are you blaming yourself? Are you making excuses for this person? How can you move forward and not continue this cycle? Because especially if you have children. Let's go ahead and put a pin in right there. We have to take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this break.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model. Yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciate it. God bless.
Opal May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opal May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day. And we are back. You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Today we are speaking on rebuilding life after abuse. We've got some great content contributors in here, Mrs. Jack, and we have Reggie with the Equal Universe. We left off at speaking on, getting help. Once you leave, it doesn't stop. That's the beginning of your new life, basically, because now you have to learn how to live without that person. Mm-hmm. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You have to learn how to live without that person and learn how to live and love yourself. Staying in a situation, you're not loving yourself. You can't.
Right.
You can't. Go ahead, Mrs. Jack. What's your...
All right. So we're going to talk about 3 reasons why people go back to an abuser. One of them you guys already kind of hit on. It is emotional control and manipulation. Abusers are masters of manipulation. They're good at making excuses and will even use emotional blackmail to control their victim. They will make the victim feel like it was their fault or make false promises to change. This can make the victim question if the situation is all that bad. So you may get to thinking, hey, when the manipulator, especially like with domestic violence, they put their hand on you. We've heard when they do movies, they're like, you made me do this. Why do you make me put my hands on you? Why do you know? And then when you have it for so long, people start agreeing like, oh, this got to be my fault. What did I do to make them so mad to put their hands on me? Yeah. So then it comes a manipulation and emotional control.
Yeah. That is so true. And unfortunately, we tend to blame ourselves versus putting the blame on the person,
right.
And making that person be accountable. And people being accountable nowadays, that's like very rare. Even our administration, they don't want to hold their own selves accountable, So being accountable and taking ownership of what role you played is detrimental.
Yeah, a lot of abusers are narcissists. So narcissists will never take accountability for anything that they have done wrong. And so when you have that wrapped up into an abuser, it's just not going to change.
And let me just say this too, when you talk about energy and, frequency and pairing, like when you pair your Bluetooth to your hand device, when you, lock into a Wi-Fi signal, understand that negative self-talk is abuse. You're abusing yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it is always good to begin at turning those things around and how you are experiencing your relationship with yourself. Because if you're always putting yourself down, if you're always negative self-talking and you're abusing yourself, it is likely that you're going to find someone that mirrors that. Mm-hmm. And that also puts you down, and that also talks negatively about you. And so then you attract or you pair with the abuser. So again,
that's so true.
the seed is what produces the fruit. So again, pay attention to how if you're single and just catch yourself. Listen to the words that you use when you talk about, oh man, you're so stupid. Don't say that to yourself. Oh man, you're always messing. Don't say those things to yourself. Find a better way to speak to you, because that is going to drive how your energy resonates to the people around you and what you're going to attract. It's like placing an order.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, you keep picking the same person, the wrong person. Well, you have to take a deep dive and look at what are you putting out into the universe? Are you putting out into the universe that you'll accept anybody who says any and everything to you without any type of repercussions? Or are you saying, no, I have standards and you're not going to talk like that?
Absolutely.
I said that first date when you're first meeting somebody, and that's when they'll pick up on if you're controllable. No woman or man should continuously keep getting into abusive relationships. That is abnormal. So it has to be something that they are either giving off or accepting, like you said, accepting that treatment in the beginning. Go ahead, Ms. Morningstar.
Can I say this too, guys? I know someone personally right now, and it's not a physical abuse. It's not a physical abuse that she continues to put herself through with different men. It's not. It has been in the past some physical, but she's escaped that. But now she puts herself in positions mentally where she is choosing people who off the top know they can use her. They can use her.
Her own self-esteem,
and that's another form of abuse.
It is.
Because
she got to work on self-esteem.
She definitely has to work on that. But when you are a person who you have a problem, but you not doing anything to make those changes or corrections, like she really doesn't, I think this person really doesn't understand how to go about changing her way of thought, because the minute a man tells her, oh, you're beautiful, she's like, what?
She acts surprised.
And she's immediately in love, and he's immediately using her. So that's another form of abuse. Is a repetitive cycle. And it's a repetitive cycle within her household, within her family dynamic.
Oh, wow.
I will add to that.
And she's a mother.
I will add to that it's as if it's a cycle, and it's as if she doesn't understand that it's okay to be alone. I know so many people. I have a friend.
And Kitty, can I just say this? She was alone for probably about 4 years.
Was she happy then?
But you've got to change. You've got to change the model.
Some people see like, well, I want a husband this bad that I will settle for whomever takes me, and that's her. That's her mental.
She's looking for validation. Right. Yeah, she's looking for validation external.
I need
to her.
Center to you, Reggie.
It has to. Yeah, I was going to say, by all means.
Yeah.
Please. Miss Jack, I know you like T-shirts, sayings on T-shirts. Look at her. She got her. And I really liked what you said our last session when you said you don't like it when people raise their voice, their tone when they speak to you.
One of my triggers.
Well, it's actually a very protective mechanism. I like that a lot, because I think that we should all be moving that way. We should all be gauging. We should all be tone policing, because I think it says a lot about a person, even if they're not directing that tone at you. Trust me, they will one day.
Watch your tone.
If they're raising their tone at other people, huge red flag.
Yeah.
But here's the T-shirt. Don't cause me the pain that you're in.
Ooh, don't give me your pain.
Don't give me your pain. Oh,
Don't cause
don't
me
cause me the
the
pain.
pain
Yeah,
that you're in.
I like that. And Miss Jack, I know this is off topic, but I just want one that says, allegedly, Miss Janice, allegedly.
You want Miss Janice in it too?
Yes, allegedly, Miss Janice, allegedly.
With a picture of her with her wig cocked to the
No,
side.
I don't want a picture of her. I just want to
I just had a
allegedly,
vision. I just
Miss
had a vision.
Janice,
I'm sorry. I'm
allegedly.
sorry.
I'm sorry, we got off
Okay.
topic. But yes,
Okay.
But yeah,
I agree with that 1,000%. And Reggie, yes, I have someone I need you to talk to, because
yes,
I think that so many people forget that you are the prize,
Yes.
male and
But,
female.
but
And
think about this, DJ Kitty. Some people never knew that. Some people never knew that.
We
That's
were
the
never taught
problem.
that.
That's
and
what I was
I
saying, is
feel
that we
like
live in a society. Go ahead, Miss
I feel
Morningstar.
like we need people to come to special programs to understand who they are, because I have spoken to this person for the last year and a half till I'm tired. And I'm like, and I've known them for a while, but now I'm tired because
Of course.
you're doing things that are putting not only you in a bad way, but your children. And I'm tired.
Yeah, sometimes it takes an outside voice.
I'm
She
like,
needs
you
somebody else.
need more than
Right.
what I
And
can offer you
right.
far as, a friend. I need you to go and, because you have to work on you. Because yes, T Witt says she has a self-esteem problem. Absolutely, but she's beautiful.
She has a value. She has a
It
value. She
doesn't.
has a
So
value
when I
deficit.
tell,
Yeah.
yes, when people
Mm-hmm.
look really good on the outside, don't look like, but you don't know what's on that internal.
Right.
It's internal, because she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
It's always internal. It's always this. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead, Reggie.
No, I was just going to say, it's always the seed. It's never the fruit.
Right.
It's always the seed. So it's always internal. You're right,
Yep.
Miss Morningstar.
Remember when we were talking about something dealing with co-parenting, and we were talking about sometimes the kids won't listen to the parent they live with because mommy or daddy is always there, so it's not going to hit as hard as the information coming from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you're her friend. You're always giving her advice. So to her, it goes in one ear and out the other ear. It may need somebody else's tone of voice to make, to get.
I would say, Miss Jack, like, I'm more of an associate, but I became a friend because she moved here unbeknown from my home state. She didn't know anybody, so she leashed, kind of, leaned onto me, which was cool. And I took her under my wing, and she just she has a lot of trauma from growing up as a kid. A lot of
That's
trauma.
typically what happens.
That's why, yeah.
That is
no matter how beautiful you are, if you're traumatized on the inside.
Y'all both are talking.
That trauma has never been professionally or it has never been professionally addressed.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's a full-grown adult with children.
Yeah.
And
so it won't matter who tells her she's beautiful, how many people tell her she's beautiful. If she don't feel it, she don't see it. It wasn't taught to her that she.
Yes, that has to become her conversation. You're right, Miss Jack. Yep.
Okay.
That's where the seed. That's where it's got to come from.
And that's the hardest part when you've lived your entire life, especially if you suffered from any type of trauma as a child, and you didn't have that reinforcement,
Yes.
like myself and Miss Morningstar, we grew up with our parents, and I had my daddy to tell me daily, you are the prize. He told my daughters, you are the prize. He told my you are the prize. You don't let anybody, tell you different. And, when you have a strong, it's great to hear it from your mother.
Thank you.
But when you have a father,
thank you.
Because think about it. When
he's the model of the man, yes.
Man that you will ever love.
Yes.
And the
yes.
first man that will
thank
ever
you.
love you is your father.
Preach.
It is a mental health month too.
So good. That is so true. And vice versa. The mother is
the
the
mother.
first woman that
There you go.
the boy, the male child falls in love with. And so these are key examples to how we set our standard and how we set our frame
Yes.
for who we're going to choose
Exactly.
in the future. And if you had a dad who's telling you you're the prize, you're going to look for that man who says you're the prize.
And
But
he
if you
shows
had an uncle and a dad who was like, you ain't this and you ain't that and you ain't gonna never be, that becomes your program.
Your model.
That's what you're gonna, let me go find that.
Mm-hmm.
and it hurts because, watching, you have friends and you have family members and you have people that you know and you care about and you love,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the value in them. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want people who, even if it's not a domestic abusive situation, if it's a verbal, if it's a using situation, if you're in
All the
a
same.
situation
All
that's
abuse.
hurting you,
Yes.
please take the time to pull back, because I'm telling you, hear my voice, folks out there in Radio Land, out there listening on YouTube. I have more days behind me than I do ahead of me. Our time left here on this planet is so very, very short. And when you really sit back and think about what can you accomplish in the time you have left, what's most important in the time you have left, dealing with somebody who's hurting you should never be an option.
Mm-mm.
Ever. Our time is limited. The one thing on this planet that you cannot buy, I don't care how much money you have. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, can't buy time. He can't buy it. None of us can. So your time is valuable. Please don't waste it on someone who doesn't treat you like the prize. And vice versa. You need to be with somebody who you want to show is a prize as well. I'm
Yes.
happy to be a part of your life. I'm happy to be with you. And if that's not happening, I'm not saying, oh, you got to break up right now. I'm saying, listen and work on you, and do it with your spouse. Do it together. Let's work on ourselves simultaneously and see if we can make it work. But when it comes to abuse and it's blatant, especially physical, baby, it's time to go.
Yep. I ain't got time to be fixing
can't.
bruises and putting on makeup and hiding because I don't like hiding and lying. So
No, my temper's too bad. I'll end
I'll
up.
give you buck.
okay. All right. So another reason why people go back to an abuser is financial control. The abuser will use or misuse money with a view to limit and control the victim's freedom of choice. This can leave the victim with no money for basic essentials and without access to their own bank accounts, and they become dependent on the abuser. You know how we see these, I won't say rappers are abusers. Don't ever think I'm saying that. I'm using that as an example for someone with money, that may have 2-3 different women. And we ask, how could you handle that situation? It's because they are the person taking care and have paid all the expenses and all the bills, and all you got to do is look pretty, so to speak. Same thing with abuse. When you control the money, you control these people's freedom. I have to give you money for gas, so you got to tell me how many miles. You got to show me your odometer. How far did you go? I give you the money to go buy groceries. I give you the money to go get your clothes. You don't have your own bank account or a way to leave me. That's pretty much what it is. So when you do leave, that may stop you from going because you're thinking, how am I going to survive without this person?
That's a lot of people, y'all. It's a lot of women and maybe some men too that are financially dependent on a person, completely financially dependent on them. And they are now trying to figure out, I want to leave this situation, but I don't have no ways to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm. And they started by telling them, when they're in that grooming process, I don't want you to work. I just want you to stay home and let me take care of you and be a housewife or a mother to our kids. You don't have the pressure of working. Look, you don't have the pressure of work, and I don't want to put that on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a housewife.
Nothing.
But
make sure you're a housewife with your own.
Have your own side hustle.
Yes.
I think it's important for us to teach our youth about financial responsibility of yourself.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of these younger people are waiting to move out of their parents' home, and then a lot of them get the idea, I'm a boo up with my man or my woman. We gon', and it's not. I always tell people the best thing to do is see what you can do on your own. Take care of you, get your own apartment, be financially set, pay your own bills, manage your own living expenses.
Yes.
Be your own independent person. I know I was for years before I ever decided to live with anyone. I moved out of my parents' home, and I did get my own apartment. I did try a roommate with a friend, one of my girlfriends, but that didn't work. I found out I needed to be on my own. And I did do that for years up until I met my husband. And we secured a home, but you need that. You need that financial stability.
Yes. I mean, nowadays we say that, but nowadays rent is $3,000. So you need a roommate nowadays. I mean, I'm just being honest.
It's true. You're right. Because back then I could pay my own rent. Now, not so much the time. I mean, I probably could, but I wouldn't want to.
Yes. Now exactly, but I mean back then when I moved out, rent was like $700.
You can pay $700. You can pay $800.
$800 a month,
and you were living in a nice area too.
My first apartment, when I retired in 2015, the apartment my mom lives in now was $775 a month in 2015. Now we just renewed the lease. It's $1,300.
Wow. More than double.
That's
more than double.
We would have renewed it and taken everybody's name off. They wanted everybody in the apartment, like a new applicant. Everybody would have to make enough money for the rent per person.
Yeah.
They want everybody to be able to afford it singly, even if 3 of y'all are. And it's ridiculous, though. Yeah.
And to your point, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And to your point, Ms. Morningstar, you do have to have skill sets. You do have to have an ability to function. You can't just, the only guarantee is change. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Whatever time it is right now, in 30 to 60 seconds from now, it's going to be a minute from now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only guarantee, the only constant is change. And so you can't just, buy into the idea. I know it, it may be, you may romanticize, but you can't buy into the idea that this situation will just forever and always be whatever it is that they're promising. Yes, whatever it is that they're promising you that it will be. At some point, it could and probably will change. And then what are you going to do? You've got to have some skill sets. You got to be able to function.
You got to be able to swim. What does they call it? Swim.
We're out here trying to function.
Yes. And then everybody doesn't have family. Some people feel like, okay, I can go home to my family. Everybody doesn't have a family that you can actually run away to, and they'll give you somewhere to stay. So that's just one of the mental games that is being played where you don't have anybody but me. Yeah. You might as well come on back. They may be saying everything wrong until they hit that one point where they say you don't have no money. I'm taking care of you. You might as well come on back. Work on it again, and I'll be better. I'll do better. That is the ultimate.
That's always the promise.
Always.
And people either evolve or they devolve. And when you're in a dysfunctional situation, trust me, that person is not going to evolve. They're going to continue. I don't care what they promise you. I don't care how much better they did for a month or 2 months, and they went and got counseling. Trust me. Trust me. They're going to fall back into that same program.
You know why? Because they assume that once you came back, you accepted everything they did before all of that.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to say this. We only have a few minutes left. I'm going to say this. If you are out here listening and you are enjoying this conversation and somebody crossed your mind when you were listening and hearing this, do them a favor. Send them this broadcast. Go to Our Plugs LLC. Click on the title is Rebuilding Life After Abuse. And just send it to them. You don't need to say anything because I'm quite sure you've talked so much that you're tired. It's like talking in a tunnel. You're tired of talking. Don't go into it. Just send them this broadcast and say, hey, I want you to listen to this. And and then give it a couple of hours and then text them and say, what'd you think? And then start that conversation. Because trust me, when we get off of this, I'm definitely sending this to a couple of people. And it's not passing judgment. It's making sure that these people understand that there's always better. You always have choices. And then I'm sending them to Reggie because I'm tired of talking.
Reggie, let's get your information. Go ahead and say how people can reach you.
Please.
TheEqualUniverse.com, TheEqualUniverse.com. And know that you're valuable. And through that narrative, through the value identity narrative, you can find out why, because that is the sustainable part.
Yes.
Shanika, how can they listen to you on TikTok?
If you want,
you can find me at The Equal Universe TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then Shanika, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, you can look for Sparkle Kicks LLC. That's SPARKLEKIX LLC. And just a caveat off what Kitty said, you can also send them the last one we had, Understanding the Dangers of Leaving Abuse. So send them that one first, and then send them this one. And you don't have to say a word, like Kitty said.
Don't say a word.
And how they find you on TikTok, Shanika? Because you do a lot of good topics on TikTok that are valuable to people.
Oh, so the first one was my TikTok.
Okay, Sparkle Kicks. Okay.
Yes, Sparkle Kicks LLC. I think it's That Damn Diva on YouTube.
Okay.
So
okay. All right. So I'm gonna say this. I want to thank both Mrs. Jack and Reggie from the Equal Universe for coming and completing this topic. Now, if you guys feel that we need to pick it up again next week, so be it. And then I'm going to say this to the Radio Land and all those on YouTube. If you have questions, and please reach out, because what we are doing is trying to give an avenue for everybody to be safe. Okay? Reach out to either Reggie at the Equal Universe, to Mrs. Jack at Sparkle Kicks on TikTok, myself at you can reach out to me on Our Plugs LLC, Mrs. Morningstar on Our Plugs LLC. Reach out to us because we are here to help. We're not here to judge. We want everyone to be safe. Plain and simple. Last 30 seconds. Great show, guys. Last 30 seconds, Miss Jack.
I'll go first. Never ever believe things will change. Take your first opportunity, your first and earliest opportunity to leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
I will echo what DJ Kitty said. We want everyone to be safe, but understand that the first safe place is you. You have to become your own safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Mrs.
And you
Morningstar.
are really her. She is really you. You are really him. You see my shirt. I'm really her. Love
Okay.
yourself first.
Love
And
you.
if you guys do need to get in touch with us anonymously, you can email us. We do know people who can be of resource to you that are clinical. Okay. So don't be scared. You don't have to put your information in the email. Just shoot a message and we'll shoot you back the information.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I want to say have a beautiful day. Get out, touch grass, enjoy the sun, drink your water. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, everybody.
Right back tomorrow. Tomorrow we will cover hurricane preparedness and we'll have a little fun with some reality TV gossip.
Yes.
See you guys later. Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.
It's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey, y'all.